Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
So you see the
apart from that, he made some enquiries.
Yeah.
And Kwame to you, it says the so-called Ghana Togoland Union has no mutually acceptable union act. This is proved by official documents listed below. Now, this conclusion he's making here is based on correspondence, communications between ONU and the UN, UN office.
Yeah.
And he was given a reply, dated June 3rd, 2008.
Yeah.
The reply from the UN was, "Dear Mr. Kedem, in response to the letter reference UN so dated 12 May 2008, requesting a certified true copy of the Ghana, British, Togoland and Union Act 1957 please be informed that we didn't find anything in our database regarding a Ghana, British, Togoland Union Act." It means that this act, quote unquote, has never been registered, so we cannot provide a certified true copy. I made some research for you in the UN library, and I found some documents that I hope will help you. Maybe one of them is the act you are looking for, but I am not sure. For further details, we have not any document regarding the Ghana, British, Togoland Union Act. Ewa na wamano place to contact. Kwame. He also wrote a letter to the Attorney General's department, and reply unyai ofi is dated 17 July 2008. Request for a certified true copy of Ghana, British, Togoland Union Act, and this was signed by the late Venerable VCRAC Crab, as Commissioner State Law Revision for Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Meteo. Also, I'm directed by the Attorney General to acknowledge receipt of your letter of 3rd June 2008. I am not so sure that there was a Union Act. The information you seek may be contained in amending legislation after the plebiscite, as the result of which what is now the Volta region, formerly Transvolta Togoland, became part of Ghana. The following legislation might help. Now, a long series of things like Transvolta Togoland Council Ordinance, number 16 of 1952, the Transvolta Togoland Council Amendment Ordinance, number 3 of 1955. P. or conclude also. Or do you have in mind that Tebubu Agreement of 1890, which determined the frontier of Lower Volta and dealt with protection? These constitutional relationships were often in the past dealt with by others in council, which bear on the matter. I remember that in the early 1950s, a delegation from Transvolta Togoland went to the United Nations Assembly, and their petition led to the plebiscite. The issue of Togoland joining Ghana will clearly have been dealt with by an order in council. Unfortunately, the Attorney General's library is under renovation at the moment, and it's extremely difficult to get the relevant documents. If the orders in council do not help, you may wish to seek assistance from the Public Record Office, Richmond, near London, or signing. Interesting, one stop. He went to the British.
Really?
Yes, and this letter is dated 15 August 2008. And Kwame, of the Foreign and Commonwealth Office.
Okay.
Was a dear Mr. Kedem, thank you for your recent letters and enclosures to the Prime Minister and the Foreign Secretary about former British Togoland. I have been asked to reply. We have considered the issue you have raised, and it is apparent that we fulfilled our UN mandate with regard to the administration of British Togoland, including the organization of the plebiscite in 1956 and the subsequent enactment of the results of that plebiscite. We recognize the currently constituted state of Ghana and do not agree that the area which was formerly British Togoland has been marginalized in independent Ghana. Yours sincerely, Anthony C. Ross, Desk Officer, West African Section.
Respectfully, can you kindly read that thing for me again?
Dear Mr. Kedem.
And this is coming from
the Foreign and Commonwealth Office.
Good. 2008.
Yeah.
Yes. Dated 15th August 2008.
12 years ago.
Thank you for your recent letters and enclosures to the British, British the Prime Minister and the Foreign Secretary about former British Togoland. I have been asked to reply.
Good.
We have considered the issue you have raised, and it is apparent that we fulfilled our UN mandate with regard to the administration of British Togoland, including the organization of the plebiscite in 1956 and the subsequent enactment of the results of that plebiscite. We recognize the currently constituted state of Ghana and do not agree that the area which was formerly British Togoland has been marginalized in independent Ghana. Yours sincerely, Anthony C. Ross. I hope I've pronounced the name right.
My last request. Start from we recognize.
We recognize the currently constituted state of Ghana.
We recognize the currently constituted state of Ghana.
And do not agree that the area which was formerly British Togoland has been marginalized in independent Ghana.
Thank you.
Way back in 2008. And so when this matter, this unfortunate term, which is a very, very provocative
dialogue, we've given them space to ventilate. Their grievances and things. Now, Kwame, in there, NRC, walk to talk about atrocities that they alleged occurred during the Nkrumah time. Some could be true in terms of if military operations happen. Some people might have been hurt. So I think they went to NRC. They didn't report, but I'll look for it for next week. Indeed, obviously, if there's human rights violations here and there, in the course of I think Kwame Nkrumah, when was making his point, asked that we should exercise caution in dealing with force. You must also know that human rights. So the NRC one, I'm not too bothered about it. But in the call Justice Brubin so ne commissioner to set up the region.
They took the same thing there.
Yes, George Nyako, Secretary of the Association of Western Togoland Youth. He said a new region cannot be created out of the Volta region because that territory is not part of Ghana's territorial area. In a letter to Justice Broby, chairman of the committee, this wrong, it should have been commissioned, in charge of creation of new regions, Mr. Nyako said, in as much as your tax is clearly, in as much as your tax is clearly spelled out, I wish to draw your attention to some very critical issues which must never elude you as you carry out your assigned duties. Legally and technically, the Volta region from which you wish to create a region out is not a Ghanaian territory. It is a mandated trusteeship territory which forms part of the British Togoland, formerly a German colony. This land was voted to be in a kind of union Gold Coast, now the Republic of Ghana, in 1956. This union did not state that the two lands are to merge and become one state. I refer you to go through the League of Nations / United Nations documents on this issue. I'm drawing your attention to this. They went to an open forum,
commission,
Abana set up to go and articulate this, and this was it only 2018? The commission,
last year.
But interestingly, Kwame, they also went to the Presidential Commission, the one President Mills set up, Constitutional Review Commission.
Professor Fiajo.
Yes, they went there. And that time, the organization that went there were from Western Togoland Restoration Congress. On your Homeland Study Group Foundation, even though I'm told some of the members cut across, overlapping. But we'll call until commission report now, I'll start from page 787. It's important I read some excerpts. Also, the commission observes on the issue of the status of the former British, that's Western Togoland, that Part 9 of the 1957 Constitution of Ghana defines the regions of Ghana at independence. It provided that Transvolta Togoland region became part of the territories of Ghana and subsequently became Transvolta/Togoland region. It further added Northern region to the Northern Togoland to the Northern territories to make up the Northern region. The commission finds that all the submissions which were made on the former British Togoland were made largely by members of the movement called the Western Togoland Restoration Congress, which is based in some parts of the Volta region. The submissions on this matter did not receive support from any other region. The commission finds that some of the petitioners on the British Togoland issue indicated that the relationship that should exist between the former British, that's Western Togoland, and Ghana should be similar to the relationship between Tanzania and Zanzibar. Now,
so they want to be a country within a country.
Yes, NRT. The commission also observes that the National Constitution Review Conference, NCRC, conferences, concerned the issue of the petition to recognize the British Western Togoland as an identified people. During the conference, the proponents of the issue restated their case to the effect that the issue was whether or not there was a valid existing document for the union of the peoples of former British, that is Western Togoland, and independent Gold Coast, which came into effect in 1957 after the 1956 plebiscite, and not a recognition and autonomy of that territory. The conference questioned the rationale behind the import of the petition. It, however, reached the consensus that since the issue has been restated and it was not a request for secession, but a request only to find out if there was any document that brought into effect the union between British, that is Western Togoland, and the Gold Coast, the matter may be considered. You listen, dialogue aspects,
Yeah.
The commission observes that the position and request of the Western Togoland Restoration Congress, the main group behind this submission, has the potential of affecting the sovereignty and continuous existence of the nation state called Ghana. To accede to the request for autonomy, even within Ghana, as exists in Tanzania and Zanzibar, may open the floodgates for further constitutive parts of Ghana prior to 1957 to make similar requests. This may eventually lead to the breakup of the unitary republic.
That's right.
The commission advises that there is no basis for the grant of such a petition, and the nation should be mindful of such potential divisive tendencies.
Potential divisive
tendencies.
Having regard to the length of time Ghana has been administered as a composite and unitary state, the well-established rules of international law on the intangibility of established frontiers and the territorial integrity of a state, as well as the interest of nation building, the commission finds the petition baseless, potentially disruptive to the established constitutional order, and thus unworthy of consideration.
Without merit. There's no merit.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
I just
unworthy finds that the provision in the constitution regulating the creation, alteration, and merger of administrative regions in Ghana are adequate and should not be disturbed. If we are going to hold dialogue with them, to what end? I ask again.
It means that this matter has been resolved
at that level, and by our constitution and by our history in terms of evolution. I don't see they don't have the luxury of an alternative but to stay within Ghana. So it's not Ghanaian citizenship or nationality now. You are free to exit and go and take up another nationality.
That's true.
Yes. So it is the point. It's really
Anyway, whilst we were speaking, I was referring to retired Army Colonel Festus Abuaji.
Yes.
And I think inadvertently I said Adai.
Oh, okay. No, he's very, look,
the name is Abuaje and not Adai.
Yes,
somebody drew my attention. Thank you very much for drawing my attention.
I mean, me read will be there. We call for dialogue, but he's a very intelligent man. He's just got a security analyst.
I know.
Yes, with some experience and all that, and he's a good friend. He's somebody I respect a lot. I would want to read exactly what he has said because I haven't seen it. I haven't come across it. But I mean, I didn't know. In terms of sentiment, yes, it's true. It be also a Western Togoland. I was about this. I am kind of Western Togolese.
I'm reading from My Joy Online. Caption: Government must engage Western Togoland secessionists in dialogue. Security analyst. A security analyst has said it is high time government sits at a table with leaders of secessionist group demanding independence from Ghana to form an autonomous Western Togoland. Colonel Festus Abuaje, retired, believes an engagement between the two entities is critical in preventing the seeming growth of recalcitrant acts perpetrated in the Volta region over the past week from escalating. So reading from my
it's a deep mind. There's no doubt about it. All by security analysis, I don't come anywhere close to the capabilities and caliber. I have to be very honest with you. And he's somebody I like and respect. But respectfully, I don't see
he's wrong. Respectfully,
what the outcome will be, knowing the history of the situation and the demands that people are making. I find it very difficult to see. In fact, the truth is that many discuss the Madida.
But if you say dialogue will give them a certain recognition.
Yes, that view is also a sustainable view. Oma may even copies of this Kusikedem, the booksy man, you know. So, but he's somebody or knowledgeable. But in this case,
you disagree with him. Okay,
I have followed him closely.
You have a contrary view.
No. Only security-related issue. He always finds fault for this government. Always.
I'm not
you
too
go
sure.
back on all security matters which have come
some.
up.
It's an all.
No follow. Every time, every time, he always finds faults for this government.
But does he make a case for his position? Is the case we should interrogate?
Sometimes it is even weird. I mean, just one on hand. Weird.
No, this one I disagree with him. In fact, I've had the course.
Most of these matters are security related issues are in question. He always finds fault with this government.
Problem is
and I'm saying there, no position about articulating. Are you weird?
Yeah, but you are seeking to put him within a political and then the honor may disagree. The issues, let's interrogate the issue he's raising.
Kweku Baako.
Yeah.
Somebody says Kweku Baako don't pretend.
Yeah.
Tell the colonel to stop what he's doing. Simple.
No. But I've just articulated a position that is contrary to his.
Yeah.
Communication. It be an style.
Yeah.
It be an approach. I have just nonsense. You are not accusing me. I'm using friendship to cover up. So that's accusation. That's accusation.
I like your repost. It was so simultaneous.
May state me case why or contradict the good colonel's case. Doesn't it?
That's it.
I mean, I say man, the good colonel. No, you mean young. What's the man? Catch and hey, I say Jarrell. I know you're the man.
But to go beyond that and say that be or anti-government, a more difficulty because you see you be an interest that why analysis be we favor government's position on issues.
Okay.
Make that knock off far.
Peace FM.
When I was SG he was one of their godfathers. In fact, Kwesikedem's book, he mentions him as one of the leading figures. Let me just read something for you. This is 27th August, 1957.
57.
Okay, at least you have a document. The Hansard.
Yes, I have it here.
Okay, finish. I just want to go on the phone line. I'll be back. But you finish this one first.
They were debating the statute law amendment bill that was in the essence was to appoint regional commissioners to replace the regional officers and were civil servants. Regional commissioners obviously
were politicians
for the state, and Nkrumah was doing this within the context of a unitary republic. Of course, he had a header. The header to the 1957 constitution hinted or just even indicated that we might have to create regional assemblies. That is as part of the compromise. And Nkrumah realized that the way and parties were regional, tribal, federal, careful, backdoor approach. The more federation, no baba. I know Nkrumah and statecraft, you can't beat him. There's no Ghanaian leader that can compare to that. Statecraft and strategic thinking.
The honor or trick is
very unique.
So, trickster.
Strategies, calculating, tactician, and looking into the future. And indeed, then the Ghana remains unitary republic. Let's be honest. With all his faults, which he did have some, it is his legacy in terms of our unitary republican nature. Okay, he may have had difficulties when it comes to participatory democracy here and there. Philosophy.
No, he may not have had. He did have difficulty there.
Yeah, but he was provoked.
That's another conversation.
That's another conversation. Yes.
He had to keep the nation intact.
That's another conversation.
Like today, we are saying that
but otherwise we will not be where we are today.
At all costs.
It's just like you are saying, we shouldn't compromise with this secessionists. Say, we shouldn't compromise with them. We can't give them what they want. And Nkrumah couldn't give them what they wanted. Now, it means that keeping the state intact, no negotiations.
Impliedly, Nkrumah never dies.
That's a small addition.
I haven't said was fought.
That's a small addition before you go. You know that on that 5th March, the eve of independence, that's when they were marching from Alabama to come and crash stop independence celebration.
See,
that's what they were coming to do.
That's why I said the sentiments goes very deep and far. Esianto, in this particular debate, the Minister of Information and Broadcasting, that's yours truly, his father,
Kweku Baako.
And it's there, the name is here, made a statement here the other day. He referred to the incident which happened in Togoland. I regret to have been forced to reply to certain statements which were made by him about me personally and about my country. About my country, and the parliament went into uproar. Change the Hansard were captured. Uproar. I say, if I say my country, honorable members must understand it. Togoland is my country, and I'm going to fight and will continue to fight until my country is liberated. The opposition cheers. The Minister of Information and Broadcasting had the audacity to state in this house that on the eve of independence, the people of Togoland rose up in arms and that the government had to use force to subdue them. And many more. But this tells you, I don't know, or deep-rooted. They are free to ventilate their sentiments and emotions, but they will not be allowed to translate those sentiments and emotions into a secession movement that will disintegrate this great nation. They will never be allowed. They will never get it. So dialogue to what end?
Interesting. Mela?
Isn't it funny that this man was speaking in independent Ghana's parliament?
And Kweku Baako was in our parliament.
And he was talking about his country.
And Kweku Baako was a member of the Consultative Assembly.
Yes.
That drafted the 1990 Constitution.
I think so.
This FM 104.3. Good to meet you.